This thing is not even built yet, and it's already a sinking ship.
What was $330 million, then $750 million, is now a billion-dollar project. An Arkansas lawmaker wants that amount set aside for construction of the new state prison in Franklin County. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer shows us how those against the project are reacting to that billion-dollar ask.
Over a week ago, State Senator Jonathan Dismang filed an appropriations bill asking for $750 million for the construction of the 3,000-bed prison. Right now, the Department of Corrections says it's estimating the prison will cost $825 million. $75 million has already been allocated. But now, State Senator Jimmy Hickey of Texarkana filed an amendment to that bill that would establish a restricted reserve fund to allocate no less than $1 billion for the project.
You're not surprised. I mean, we projected from the beginning it would be $1.5 billion.
Natalie Cadena is with Gravel and Grit, a group formed to oppose the prison. She says with the new $1 billion ask, they're still left asking questions.
Tell us where the money's coming from, where are you going to get it, how are you going to sustain it, how are you going to increase staffing in the lowest unemployment rate in the state.
When the original appropriations bill was filed, Governor Sanders says, quote, "This estimate lets us move forward quickly on the long overdue prison project and build a safer and stronger Arkansas."
We're up to $670 million within a span of about 2 to 3 weeks.
State Senator Brian King says it's concerning to hear the numbers keep going up.
This is not the way you should manage the people's money, to just all of a sudden start asking for now, literally hundreds of $1 billion out of this with no specifics or details. This is actually a worse situation, because if you go to legislative council and give legislative council, you will actually have 75 members of the legislature that will have no say-so on this $1 billion.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
By the way, that bill will be heard in a committee meeting on Tuesday of next week. Now, we did reach out to Senator Hickey to ask why he filed that amendment, and we have not heard back from him. Meanwhile, Arkansas lawmakers advancing the next phase of the governor's education reform plan today. It's called the Arkansas Access Act and seeks to overhaul the higher education system to align it with the Arkansas Learns Act passed last year. The plan includes accelerating pathways to colleges and careers. It streamlines the admission process. It expands scholarships and standardizes course credits. Today, lawmakers had the chance to hear the bill simultaneously on both the House and Senate floors.
We really need to have more expert educator input and place some of these stakeholders back in the bill.
The one part in regards to the students in exercising their First Amendment rights, I don't even think that we needed to even touch that issue in access. And for us to do so is just to try to create a chilling effect.
The bills passed in both chambers, mostly along party lines. In the House, Democrats Stephen Maggie and Joy Springer supported the bill. A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to reinstate thousands of probationary workers let go in mass firings across multiple agencies. And one of those agencies is the Department of Veterans Affairs. Just adds to the turbulent last few weeks for local workers at the VA in Fort Smith and Fayetteville.
It's chaos. My employees are scared to death. They don't know day from day if they're going to be the ones to get fired.
Bruce Appel is the president of the local American Federation of Government Employees. The union represents all the workers at the Fort Smith and Fayetteville VA sites, as well as sites in Ozark, Branson, Springfield, and Joplin, Missouri. He says not only are his workers concerned, the local patients they serve are also worried.
They are not only worried, we have a lot of them who are furious. When Secretary Collins came out and announced that the VA was going to terminate 83,000 employees out of the VA, they, like everybody else, doesn't understand how that can possibly improve their care.
He says it's any future care for local patients that has him very concerned.
It's a true statement to say that veteran care has not been impacted because we haven't cut anything. But we were already in a budget crisis before this started, and we were already in a hiring slowdown. We were already very short-staffed, and we don't have the people that we need to directly do the stuff that we need to be able to do. So it does impact their care.
Appel says he understands there needs to be cuts, but only in a way that makes sense.
I don't think anybody could argue that that shouldn't be done. You'd be fiscally irresponsible to not do that. But you just don't come in with a sledgehammer and break everything up and then try to put the pieces back together again. Our veterans will end up getting hurt.
At the end of the day, Appel says, just like any other worker, federal or otherwise, they just want to do their job.
All we want as employees, we're federal employees. We come to work, we work hard every day. We are not the public's enemy, okay? And we're being labeled like we're all just a bunch of lazy people that want to sit at home at their keyboards and not do anything, and it couldn't be farther from the truth.
There will be a rally in front of the Fayetteville VA Hospital, by the way, this Saturday morning starting at noon to bring awareness to these cutbacks. A major investment in the future of the Arkansas National Guard. The Arkansas Guard breaking ground on a new $14 million readiness center at Fort Chaffee today. The facility will sit on about 12 acres of land and feature classrooms, training spaces, a kitchen, storage, and even a family readiness area. Readiness Center will be the first new construction project for the Arkansas National Guard since the Cabot Armory was built in 2011. National Guard says it hopes to start training soldiers there by sometime next year. Gravette firefighter Tyler Shambles has made a full recovery after nearly losing his life in a motorcycle accident. We first told you a story in January when he was life-flighted to a hospital in Joplin, Missouri to treat severe injuries. Well, after waking up, he was transferred to Craig Rehab Facility out in Colorado, where he continued his road to recovery. What was supposed to be an 8 to 12-week stay was only 2 as he quickly regained strength. Well, now he's back home and reunited with his family. Tyler and his wife have just one message for everyone.
He doesn't seem like enough, especially after 5 weeks of people, showing up for us. We had neighbors come and clean our house. We've had people drop off meals from church. It's just, thank you will never be enough for the way people diverted to helping us.
And they're still helping us today with bills and stuff, so definitely appreciative and can't ever say thanks enough to everybody.
Tyler says he plans to go back to work on Monday.